Feeling down or overwhelmed with the non-stop news updates on coronavirus? Can't find anything to make you feel any better about this pandemic ordeal? Hi, my name's Dylan, and you're watching Awesome Movies. Whilst every other person at home is treating quarantine like the final circle of hell, OSSA's got you covered. See our ultimate watch list for when you're stuck in quarantine, the 5 best movies and TV shows to watch right now, as well as the 5 worst films that you better avoid until this pandemic is over for good. Let's go! Starting with the better not watch picks for this quarantine-cation, we present you with I Am Legend. Of course, we had to bring this one up. New York City is taken over by a lethal virus. The main character, played by Will Smith, is believed to be the last immune person amidst the pandemic. He spends his days having flashbacks about his family, trying to create a cure for the disease using his own blood, while his dog, who's the only being left to talk to, keeps him company. Recently, Smith came out saying he feels responsible for the misinformation presented in the movie. It's neither accurate nor applicable to what we are experiencing today. Not only that, the movie is extremely depressing for those who are just trying to unwind during the emergency quarantine. So let's get our facts straight and switch to the entertaining documentary TV series called Explained. The show offers a comprehensive analysis of what's happening with the world, all packed into 20-minute episodes. In times of the global pandemic, tip number 1 is not to panic and to understand the situation. Explained does this for you, so buckle up and let us take you on a ride of enlightenment. The founder of the Microsoft Corporation, Bill Gates himself, is one of the interviewees on the next pandemic episode, delving into the origin of diseases and how many years it can take to develop a vaccine. The show breaks down the similar pandemic that happened in 2012, affecting 26 countries and how it has been prevented from spreading. Every episode dissects a disputed subject, such as polyamory, taxes, and why diets never work, getting an 87% audience score. Seems like a no-brainer choice for me. After seeing uplifting videos of people singing their lungs out from their balconies in Italy, where the voices of thousands of people morphed into one beautiful song of unity and solidarity, you want to maintain that level of hope. Quite the opposite vibe is given by the action horror film The First Purge. Cross it off your to-watch list for now. In the movie, one day every year, there's a 12-hour span during which any committed crime is legal. Murder, anarchy, you name it. The movie depicts lawlessness, violence, aggression, and social disorder at its finest. We already challenge our sanity by watching news. Do we really need to watch more things like that? Guys, the bottom line is, let's not fight for toilet paper rolls and cans of beans. All of us are in this together, and what we actually need is compassion and kindness. Still wondering how to maintain distance with your friends? Can't get comfortable with wearing gloves all the time? Need a tutorial on how to avoid any type of touch? Watch someone who has been through it all and nailed it. The comedy drama show Pushing Daisies narrates a story of pie maker Ned, who has the power to bring the dead back to life with his touch. Intrigued enough? The only issue is the same touch twice kills. What a bummer. Ned doesn't lose his spirit though, on the contrary. He uses his special gift to solve crimes whilst relentlessly trying to make it work with his crush whom he can't even hug now. The show is sweet, quirky, and charming, conveying that distance is not that big of a deal. Moving on to the virgin suicides, this is a perfect example to scare the hell out of you by showing what a life in isolation can lead to. In case you're a social butterfly and being away from people and your friends feels like true torture to you, do not escalate that feeling by watching this. This drama film is about conservative parents who decide to ground their 5 daughters for the time being in order to, essentially, keep them away from a fun teenage life, adolescence, and what they think is bad behavior. No surprises as to what happens, the plot is in the title. The confinement causes the family to deteriorate and begets a horrifying ending. That is why this movie is not on our cinema therapy list. Instead, when everything's out of control, when nothing goes as planned and you feel like a failure, turn to Fleabag, the ultimate pick for those who think nobody has it worse than they do. The plot of this dark comedy TV show unfolds in London, where the main character is trying to overcome a personal tragedy and keeps getting into hilarious incidents. Her whole life is a series of unfortunate events, but her humor is electrifying and liberating, and nobody can say no to that, right?
Tell the truth.
It's horrendous.
It's horrendous.
It's modern.
Don't lie!
I'm not!
I look like a pencil.
You don't look like...
Don't lie!
The takeaway is, life is all about ups and downs. But it's never hard for too long. The TV series was highly praised, receiving a myriad of awards, and is definitely worthy of your attention. The only bad thing about it is that it is way too short. Also, how come we never get to know the name of the main character? Mystery!
I want to f*** a priest.
Do you really want to f*** the priest, or do you want to f*** God?
Can you f*** God? Just please tell me how to not f*** a priest before I get arrested.
Please comment below whether you know who the hot priest is. We're launching our fan base in the comment section. Now, the last thing you need in quarantine is to immerse yourself into an unproductive rut, doing nothing but being a couch potato. For this reason, avoid The Road. This post-apocalyptic movie offers haunting cinematography and a soul-wrecking plot. The planet went through a mass extinction of biodiversity, and the remaining population turned into scavengers, desperately looking for food and a better environment to live in. Darkness, hunger, purposeless roving, and a journey of humanity through survival. The movie was viewed as one of the most depressing to watch, while effusing nothing but the feeling of despair. It's 111 minutes of you questioning whether there is even a point to living after all. How about let's not end this month with a therapy appointment? Let's try something less heavy. Being locked in at home in quarantine might make your days seem dull and boring, but let us shift your attention from the pandemic to a mind-bending miniseries, One Strange Rock. Beautifully narrated by Will Smith, it presents the unique perspective of 8 astronauts. The series engages the viewers in a dialogue on the raw beauty of the Earth and this extraordinary experience humankind calls life. The show starts with Will saying, "I'm going to tell you about the most incredible place." And you know what? You're walking on it. Intense. The series presents exclusive footage from space and otherworldly visual effects that will absolutely amaze you. An impressive underwater environment, a solar eclipse, the motion of stardust, and the overwhelming beauty of our ecosystem, all of which have an intrinsic value to sustaining the planet. Nothing's a mere coincidence, from the origin of oxygen from algae to the dust storms in the Sahara Desert. You'll want to write a love letter to the Earth after this. This series is a must-watch. Although we are low-key big fans of the one and only Black Mirror, we don't think binging on it this March is a good idea. The critically acclaimed British sci-fi series revolves around the technology and artificial intelligence that have shaped the world into a completely different place. Every episode is dedicated to a new story, demonstrating how technology mirrors the worst traits of human nature. Machines have infiltrated every single aspect of people's lives. Died? No worries, we'll extract the intelligence and make an immortal clone of you. Trouble remembering? Gotcha. We now inject a microchip behind your ear that records everything you see. Some stories go way too far at aiming to undermine your sense of humanity, personal security, and privacy. Kudos to the directors and writers of the show. They've done an amazing job of being able to engage you with the story and leave you with an existential crisis at the age of 14. Seriously though, let's put an age restriction for all the owners of a Netflix account who are younger than 25. On the flip side, let's not get upset with having to stay indoors for a month or not being able to hang out with friends. The best thing to do right now is to treat this period as a second chance to reflect on yourself and start over. Like Patrick Solitano from the movie Silver Linings Playbook. The main character went through a pretty rough time in his life. He lost his wife, had a complete mental breakdown, got laid off work, and had to stay in a mental facility. Nothing works out for him. He's forced to reevaluate his attitude, create new habits, and use his time off work to become a better version of himself. Pat's not an easy person to be around. He has anger management issues and he fails, but he gets up. The movie takes you on an emotional roller coaster ride and encourages you to believe that there is a silver lining in every story, event, and bad day. If you stay positive, you have a shot. The movie scored a whopping 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, so you might want to give it a go. Before leaving you with these immaculately hand-picked choices to binge watch in quarantine, let's check out some honorable mentions. Pandemic, a highly watched TV series on influenza, the history of pandemics, and bioterrorism to make you feel like, in 2020, nothing's off the table. Shameless, if you ever thought you ain't got it together, well, some have it worse. Trust me, your life cannot be more cumbersome and chaotic than in this show. Horrible bosses. At least you can hate your job remotely while staying home, sipping morning coffee in your robe. Lastly, how about getting cultured by watching the incredible cinematography in the Oscar-winning movie Parasite? A true delight for your eyes. In the comments below, please share with us what's on your watch list during the quarantine. Are you more like a cross all the things off my to-do list type of person right now and seeing the bright side of it rather than a rest I need aka Yoda's wisdom type of person? Don't forget to share how you are dealing with it so far. Looking forward to your comments. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay awesome!